Hello everyone, welcome to Darius Talks. Today we are joined by Algie Smith, Issa Rae and Lamar Johnson. Thank you for joining us today. Algie Smith, you played the role of Khalil. Why did you decide to take on this role?
I took on this role because the story felt so important and personal. Playing Khalil allowed me to show the humanity behind the headlines and give a voice to the struggles so many young black men face. It was a chance to be a part of a project that sparks real conversations about justice and change.
Do you feel that your role sent out an important message to young black men like yourself?
Yes, portraying Khalil in The Hate U Give was a powerful way to reflect the realities many young black men face, and I believe it sent an important message to them.
What do you believe was the hardest scene to film in The Hate U Give?
Khalil's death scene was one of the hardest to film because it reflects so many real life tragedies. It was emotionally heavy, but I focused on honouring those stories and the lives they represent. Having a supportive cast and crew made it easier to navigate those tough moments.
How did you connect with your character Khalil? What aspects of his personality or story resonate with you personally?
I connected with Khalil because, like him, I grew up in a community with silent challenges. He's a regular kid with big dreams, and I relate to his struggle to be seen for who he truly is. His loyalty, love for family, and desire to do better really resonated with me. His journey reminded me of the importance to staying true to yourself and fighting for the future no matter the obstacles.
Do you have any message that you hope the audience takes away from The Hate U Give, especially from Khalil's story?
I hope the audience takes away the message that Black Lives Matter and that the story of Khalil is not just one tragedy but a reflection of so many real life stories that go untold. His life mattered and he deserved better. My advice for those in similar situations is to know your worth and never let anyone define you by your circumstance. Keep pushing, keep fighting, and always remember that your voice is powerful, no matter what the world may tell you.
What changes do you believe are necessary to prevent incidents like Khalil's death from happening in real life and in the future? And how can communities contribute to this change?
I believe that the discrimination between black and white people and the mindset that a black person is more dangerous than a white person has to change. If the community treats both races the same way, I think it would really make a difference.
Thank you. Lamar Johnson, you played Seven. Do you have a favourite scene as Seven or a moment that stood out to you during the film?
The scene that stood out to me the most is definitely a scene where Star's uncle Carlos defended the police officer and said that he would react differently to a black man who looked poor compared to a white man who looked rich. It really made me view the situation differently.
How did you feel that made Seven feel as a black man? Did you feel that he discriminated against and let down by someone who you consider as family?
I think he felt shocked and let down by his uncle Carlos.
What do you learn from playing Seven that struck you in your personal or professional life?
One quality of Seven that I learned and tried to implement into my life was his bravery. The fact that he was always determined to help his dad.
Playing Seven, do you think that you ever went a bit too far trying to protect his family as he put his family at risk many times?
I think he put himself in positions where he could have been harmed, and he was harmed at one point when he was beat up by the King Road. I think he put his safety on the line in order to protect his siblings.
How do you feel about your role as the older brother in a family tree?
Being an older brother suited me because I have 3 younger siblings. It was easy for me to act like the older sibling. As the older brother in this film, I felt my responsibility was to protect my younger siblings, so I tried to convey that determination to keep them safe.
Do you think he found it difficult to protect his siblings with so much conflict?
I do think he found it difficult to protect them, but he did what he could whilst knowing that it could lead to him being harmed.
How do you feel about protests and the fight for justice in the story and in real life? What role do you see in taking these movements?
I feel like the fight for justice is what was the right thing to do in a peaceful manner. However, the protests would often turn violent. I felt like the role that I saw myself taking in those moments was being there to protect my siblings in case things turned violent.
If you could send a message to others who might be facing similar struggles, what would you like them to know?
Speak up and protest for your beliefs. Make sure that the protest is peaceful, however, because if it turns violent, it could do more harm than good.
Remember, I had the Darius bobblehead made and I gave it to him. So now the Bobble brothers made one, and they put it in their storefront, so you could go to BabuBro.com and order one. Your own official Darius bobblehead. Say Darius bobblehead. Darius ready to eat breakfast. He's trying to slip away. Y'all see him sliding away? So you can buy one, and guess what? When you purchase one, Darius get commission, right, Darius? He gets some change in his pocket. Cha-ching, ching, cha-ching, ching, bring the bling, bling, ring, ring. So ring the bell and tell everybody about the Darius bobblehead. Go to BabuBro.com. The link is also in our bio on TikTok and Instagram. And that I told you that to get commission. And if you want 10% off, you can use the discount code Darius. Let's get Darius paid. Let's get Darius that bag in the place to be. Look at that. It has a mustache. Look at the mustache. Let's see. Mustache.
Do you feel that you had an important role in this film?
In my opinion, I think being an activist is extremely important. The movie is based on people protesting about the racist mindset of a police officer.
What are some of the biggest challenges you think April faced as an activist and advocate for justice, particularly in cases like Khalil's?
As an activist, it can be hard to make your voice heard. Also, sometimes protests get out of hand and many become violent. As the leader of many of these protests, when someone gets hurt, I feel very guilty and it can be hard to deal with.
Did you enjoy your role taking charge of one of the main scenes with the protest?
Yeah, I think there was lots of emotion in the scenes, and I tried my best to make all the protest scenes look as realistic as possible.
How did you handle public and media perception of your work playing April, especially when facing opposition or criticism?
I try not to listen too much about what the media has to say about me. I just try to focus on what I believe in and try to make a change to stop the discrimination against black people.
How do you see the role of young people like Star in today's world in the fight for social justice? What advice would you have for them?
Speak out about your experiences and beliefs. Don't be afraid to share what you think. If more young people help in the fight for social justice, there will definitely be change.
Do you think Star was right to get involved in this protest, even at her young age?
Yeah, I do. I mean, she was an eyewitness of what happened, and even at her young age, she's really mature. I think she did the right thing by speaking out.
Thank you. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's episode of Darius Talks.